Thanks for tuning in, and welcome to a Fitter Use community here. If you've been following our video blogs over the past couple of weeks, you will notice that we started a squat therapy video series. So, putting out videos of smoothie recipes, health and nutrition tips, and weight training tips is awesome. But the fact of the matter is, human movement is the most fundamentally most important thing, bar none. So this little series is going to help with one particular movement that we use every day in our everyday lives, and that's squatting, right? So, without further ado, let's start part 2 of this video blog. If you haven't seen part 1, I highly recommend that you tune in and just check it out. It takes you through a dynamic movement series just to get the hips open and to get things loose. Focusing on the hip flexors that are often impinged and very tight from being seated or being sitting too long, right? As well as opening up the hamstrings, getting the quads firing, and allowing that back to take its natural curvature and its natural motion. Today we're going to talk about the basic squat itself, alright? If you cannot get into a full squat position, then that's your first step right there. And that's what this video is going to address. So squat therapy number 2 starts now. We're always going to start with our feet when talking about the squat. We want to start down and work our way up. So before going into any movement, whether it's time, whether it's rep-based, remember that it's not about being fast or crazy or speed. It's about having a solid base first. So make sure you're fundamentally sound before going into the movement. I like to have feet shoulder-width apart to start my hip sequence, right? I like to have my feet facing forward like I'm on skis, right? Now, if you bend your knees and it causes pain, chances are you shouldn't be squatting right now. Alright? There's some things that need to be addressed, and we'll address those in future videos. But for now, if any type of bending, flexing of the knee, or extension causes pain to that knee joint, you shouldn't be doing squats. That's first things first. So my feet are set at shoulder width apart. I have them facing forward like they're on skis. Right? Remember, if you need to step out a little bit, that's absolutely fine. But what we're searching for is a nice straight line with good ankle mobility. Second thing we're going to talk about is posture. Chest should never come down, alright? The shoulders remain nice and tall and nice and flat as we go into that squat. So I'm going to show you a couple squats with a full range of motion, alright? Dropping below parallel, knees coming out, and a nice vertical shin, alright? So we're going to come down in our squat, nice and tall, and then back up. So full extension, right? Squeeze the glutes, engage that posterior chain. And keep the weight on the heels. You should be able to wiggle your toes. Everybody wiggle right now. Good. Alright, a couple more squats. Down and up. Knees go out. Good. Toes stay tracking forward. Nice tall posture. We'll pump from the side. And then back up. That is your full range of motion air squat. We do squats every day. Sitting down, standing up. However, having that full range of motion, allowing the hip to drop below parallel, is truly indicative of hip mobility. Right? All that means is you're expressing full range of motion through the hip. So why do we want to force the knees out instead of just allowing them to come forward into our squat like this? This looks fine, right? Couple reasons. Your knees will have a tendency to want to shift over the toe if the knees are not locked out. Alright? So it's a great way to keep that shin vertical. So from your knee to your ankle, the shin, keeping it vertical is very important. Another reason we allow the knees to come out is we create torque in the system. You'll hear more about torque in future videos. But for your purpose today, think of torque as providing stability. It allows there to be a proper structure, a proper stabilization going through the lower chain, right? And allows you, number one, when you have weight on your back, to stay nice and tight and nice and controlled. Alright? I'm a lot more powerful when my feet are forward and the knees are going out than I am with my knees or my feet out and my knees coming in. It's a very weak and a very dangerous position to be in, right? Less efficient. We're always looking for the most efficient position possible. So that is your air squat, technically broken down. Hips are going back just slightly, knees are popping out, and we're trying to sink down into that squat. Nice and controlled, back is up, and then standing up. Alright? If you can do that without any problems, rock on. Great work so far. That means you're able to express full range of motion throughout the hip, throughout the ankles. You're in a good place right now. Alright? If you currently struggle with that, because there's no can't, means you have some work to do. And I'm a firm believer in the best mobility therapy is doing the actual action, right? So if you can do all the hip openers you want to help your squat, but if you're not actually practicing pushing those knees out and dropping into that squat until you can slowly start to lower more and more, that is the best way to actually help improve your squat. It's going to take patience, it's going to take practice, but over time, that persistence will pay off, right? The 3 Ps, use them, right? Here are some tools today that are going to help with that sequence. So this is a little circuit that I like to use in warm-ups for some clients to work on their mobility, right? First things first, we're going to set a target. Our target right here is going to be just a simple medicine ball, right? All I'm going to use this medicine ball for is a target for my butt to sit down. If I know that I have trouble dropping my hips, or if I know that my client's knees start to come forward, I'm going to give them a set target to kind of help guide them with the idea of pushing the hips back. You're hinging slightly at the hip, right? So I'm going to step up here, feet set. I'm going to sit back and drop into that position, right? So from here, I should nice and control. You want to make sure that you're still keeping your tummy tight, right? Knees are still pushing out. You shouldn't just be relaxed and chilling on the ball. That's not what this is about, right? You're fully engaged. You're ready to stand back up to full extension of the hip, right? I'm going to drop down one more time. Try to gently touch the ball as best you can without sitting down completely, losing that engagement, and making sure the pelvis is in a nice position. Up here is top, getting up, boom. Back, touch, boom. If that's still a little bit too difficult for some of your clients or for yourself, a great addition is raising the platform. You can go to a box. I have a couple plates here, and I'm going to throw the medicine ball on top. All I'm going to do now is I've raised my set point about 2 inches, right? So then here, same thing, nice and tall, sit back, touch, a little bit easier. So now I'm about parallel. If I see my client has that, I might cue them to lift the chest up a little bit more, nice and tight through the tummy, keep the pressure in the heels, and standing up. Back down, standing up. A little more room to work with, right? Progress. So add progressions as you improve. So maybe strip the plate away, maybe try to go for the ball, and if they get really good, maybe put a cup on the ground or a bottle, have them try to sit on that, alright? Challenge yourself and work on that mobility. Really drill that. A great way to do this is just set a clock, set a timer, put 5 minutes on the timer, and see how many you can get through. Slow, controlled, focusing on your form. That's a great way. It doesn't have to be a specific amount of reps, alright? Focus on the time. So that is one way to progress with your air squat. One of the most fundamental foundational movements that we come across as human beings. If you can't squat, you're not a full human being in capacity, by definition. You should be able to have full range of motion through the hips, proper stability through the thoracic and lumbar, right? Supporting through all those areas. Another great way, as you start progressing a little more advanced, is to do foot placement squats. I'm going to start nice and wide, just a little bit wider than shoulder width, not too crazy. I'm going to go into my squat, right? Nice and easy, and I'm going to back up. I might do 5 reps there, down and up, nice and controlled. Then I might move my feet in just a little bit. So now I'm about a little bit inside of hip width, right? So down, up, up. Once your clients or yourself start to improve, you can start incorporating this and walking your feet together now. If you can squat like this and hold this position, it's showing me as a coach excellent ankle mobility, great range of motion through the hips, great support through the pelvis and the back, right? And proper engagement through the core. Highly athletic position because you're able to move. Remember, movement comes before all else, right? Don't try to skip ahead. Don't try to run before you can walk, basically, right? So feet together, we'll squat down, and then up. Squat down, and then up. Do that for a couple times, and then work your way back out maybe. Great way to loosen up the hips, work on your mobility, and challenge yourself. It's going to feel uncomfortable at times, but practice, right? Try to go a little bit lower and lower every day, working on those positions. Your body will adapt, your body will become immune and innate to that pattern that you're putting it under, right? This has been squat therapy part 2. We went over the squat itself, the basic air squat, how to start working on it, and how to really start mobilizing to get into that position, alright? Part 2, in the books. Thanks for tuning in. Great job. And be sure to give us a like.